live and breathe.
When a movie is practically perfect in every way, the idea of any sequel seems like a recipe for disaster. Luckily, with a dash of mischief, a dollop of whimsy, and yes, a spoonful of sugar, Mary Poppins Returns feels less like a cynical cash grab and more like a visit from an old friend, even if her reappearance doesn't quite live up to your memories of the good old days.
Mary Poppins.
Set 25 years after the events of Mary Poppins, the sequel sees the beloved nanny dropping back in on the Banks children when they're all grown up. Feisty Jane is following in her activist mother's footsteps as a union organizer, and Shy Michael is mourning the death of his wife and trying to take care of their 3 children while struggling to solve a stressful financial problem.
Everything's fallen to pieces since your mother.
Needless to say, Mary Poppins arrives at just the right moment, once again determined to remind both generations of Banks kids that there's nothing more valuable than time spent together.
Don't you remember that kite? We used to love flying that with Mother and Father.
While the film is full of magic and heart, the tone can feel a little muddled at times. Michael's money troubles are designed to add urgency to the story, but the children's adventures with Mary Poppins are so fantastical and increasingly bonkers, the film sometimes undermines the seriousness of what the family is facing.
It's wonderful to see you.
Yes, it is, isn't it?
But for the most part, the story skips along smoothly, effectively recreating 1930s London with a few touches of fantasy thrown in. Plus, there's a thrilling detour into an animated world that comes close to recapturing the magic of the original.
The one, the only, Mary Poppins!
Emily Blunt plays a sterner and vainer Mary Poppins, which is more faithful to P.L. Travers' book, but also adds weight to the film's more emotional moments. It takes a while to warm up to Blunt's performance, just because she's not Andrews. But something clicks around the time that Mary and the children take a trip to a zany animated music hall. After that, we have a better sense of Mary's real self, as she lets the children see past her prim and proper exterior. Blunt makes the role her own, with a little more sass than Andrews probably would have been allowed to play in 1964.
My goodness, Annabelle. What have you done to your clothes?
In place of her old pal Bert, Mary's new platonic partner in crime is his former apprentice, a lamplighter named Jack, who is every bit as charming as his mentor, with a Cockney accent that's only slightly more convincing.
Nice to see you, Jack.
Good to see you too, Mary Poppins.
While Julie Andrews and Dick Van Dyke had a flirtatious chemistry, Blunt's take on the character is definitely more austere. While Lin-Manuel Miranda's Jack has eyes for someone else, giving the duo a chummy but less magnetic vibe overall.
May I say you look lovely as always?
Do you really think so?
Still, they're a perfect match in the song and dance department, performing a show-stopping shared number around the halfway point that seems to be begging the audience to applaud when it's over.
Nothing's gone forever, only out of place.
At times, though, Mary Poppins Returns feels less like an homage and more like a recreation of the 1964 classic, just set to a slightly different tune, which is especially true of the music. While none of the songs are as instantly earwormy as the first films, each is charming in its own way. Blunt performs one of the most moving Disney ballads in recent memory, and Miranda gets a chance to make his mark with a step-in-time style dance number that's exhilarating to watch. What stands out most about Mary Poppins Returns is its heart. It aims for sentimentality, but its earnest intentions never tip it too far into eye-roll territory. Although its life lessons may be a bit too on the nose for some adults, it's clear that Mary Poppins still has plenty to teach us. Mary Poppins Returns isn't practical or perfect, and it sometimes trips itself up by relying too heavily on your nostalgia for the original. But between a heartfelt performance from Blunt, an irresistible turn from Miranda, and a touching desire to spark your imagination, it is still a jolly holiday treat that won't ruin your appreciation of the original.
Off we go.
And don't forget to check out our reviews of Bumblebee and Aquaman. And as always, be sure to follow and subscribe to IGN wherever you like to watch.